So you might be looking at my Diamond Dynasty team and saying, damn, he must have done a lot of exchanges in order to get those Team Affinity cards. And the truth is, all I did was beat the Showdown. I have 9 Team Affinity cards to be exact. So that means 9 times 3, since you do need 60 points, 50 points to actually unlock the card, but you need to beat Showdown 3 times in order to formally unlock the card or get enough points to formally unlock the card. I have had to beat Showdown a total amount of 27 times. Who are the Team Affinity players we have? We have Juan Soto, Byron Buxton, Joey Gallo, Carlos Correa, Fernando Tatis Jr., Gleyber Torres, Matt Olson, and then in the starting rotation we have Blake Snell and Shohei Ohtani. Now this is a no money spent team, just in case you're wondering, and if you're a no money spent player, Team Affinities is the way to go when it comes to competing with other players that already have done all the live series collections. So Showdown. First and foremost, if you're new here, make sure you guys hit that like button or red subscribe button. Let's aim for 50 likes on this video. Turn on that notification bell. And also follow me on all social medias at Bhlademyst, same way it's spelled, on the YouTube channel username. Also click on the channel and interact with me in the community tab. Now when it comes to any of these showdowns, it's important to know whether or not you have the capability of just skipping to the final boss and going ahead and scoring 16 runs in 20 outs for the division bosses. For the first inning program, you need to score basically 16 runs in 15 outs. So you need to score more than 1 run per out. It's a difficult task. For any of these, it's a difficult task. So you need to know that you can 100% skip to the final boss. If you can't, and you do know that you're going to need some extra help, you will need to tally on some runs in order to not have such a humongous deficit, then go ahead, play the mini games and the mini bosses up to the final boss, and whenever you feel comfortable, then just skip and face the final boss. Now, it's also important to know how to draft. When it comes to players, you need to know who you're facing in the final boss. So for the AL East, you always face Garrett Cole. AL Central, you have 3 options so far from my experiences. I had Matthew Boyd, I had Carlos Santana, or not Carlos Santana, excuse me, Zach Greinke, and I've also had Michael Kopech. For the AL West, I've gotten Justin Verlander every single time as the final boss. NL East, it has been DeGrom. NL Central, it's Hader. And then NL West, it's going to be Walker Buehler. Now, I'm not sure if for the NL Central you also face Jack Flaherty, but I do know that the one time that I actually attempted to do it, it was Josh Hader. Now, to me, when it comes to perks, there are 2 perks that you always are going to be looking out for. It's going to be the heart attack perk, which basically means whenever your team is down, you get a slight boost to your contact. And then besides that perk, you're going to also be looking for defibrillator because it gives you a contact boost whenever you got an 0-0 count, 1-1 count, or 2-2 count. Another good boost that I enjoy using is inner peace, which is basically when pitches are down the middle, you get a contact boost as well. And if you're doing the 2-strike method, which is the method that I propose to everyone to use, it's basically not swinging the bat until you have 2 strikes. You literally put the controller down, and then when you do have 2 strikes, you hit. Usually as the pitchers progress in the game and they get more tired, their stamina runs down, so they start leaving pitches over the middle, and having inner peace is going to allow you to hit home runs or get those extra base hits that you want to get. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Sometimes these common fielders or fielders in general in Showdown, they become the best fielders to ever play the game of baseball, and they're able to not only track everything down, but also make the most amazing diving plays. So my win rate when it came to Showdown, I'd say it's slightly above 65% win rate when I skip straight to the final boss, but just wanted to let you all know that I don't go in there and beat them every single time. Now for the first inning program, since you do have to score 15 runs in 15 outs, this to me is the most difficult one, and the options to face are also difficult. You have Kenley Jansen, Roy Oswalt, or German Marquez. To me, the easiest way to beat it is in Coors Field with German Marquez if you're skipping straight to the final boss. I would recommend, although it is probably smarter and a better decision to go ahead and play the mini games to accumulate runs towards the final game, therefore making it easier for you. That way you don't waste time and virtual currency as well. Now, when it comes to drafting, once again, if you're facing a right-hander as the final boss, you want to stack your team with players that are better against right-handed pitching. So power versus right is always the stat I'm looking for. When you're facing someone like Josh Hader, who's a lefty, or Matthew Boyd, who's a lefty, you don't know until after the draft. So I suggest you pick the best hitters available for the AL Central and NL Central. But For the NL Central, I'd go with power versus left because the one time that I did attempt it, it was Josh Hader. So for the NL Central, 100% power versus left, NL West power versus right, NL East power versus right, AL West power versus right, AL East power versus right, AL Central, I'd go power versus right as well because you have a 67% chance of facing a right-hander as opposed to a 33% chance of facing a lefty. And even if you do go with power versus right, most of the silver cards and gold cards and bronze cards, they have great power against both sides, so that's also going to help you out a lot. Now, to me, I didn't personally do this, but I do believe that this is one of the best things you could do when it comes to preparing yourself for the final boss and giving yourself basically a higher chance of beating them. So let's say we're going to be facing Gerrit Cole, and we already have the final lineup that we're about to enter with. Before we enter the game, what I'd do is I'd go ahead and stack my team with whichever players I drafted on there. So for example, let's say we had gotten JD Martinez. I'm going to add JD Martinez to the squad. Let's say we had drafted Xander Bogaerts. Boom, I'm going to add Xander Bogaerts. Let's say we had gotten Aaron Judge as the diamond. Boom, I'm adding Aaron Judge. And let's say we had also Mike Zunino as a catcher, and then everybody else was Oriole players. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to accept the roster changes. I'm going to auto fix basically every single roster, or I'm pretty sure that, well, yeah, you have to press square and auto fix every single roster. And then I'd go to the lineup and I'd set it identical to how you have it on the Showdown. And then right after that, since we are going to be facing Gerrit Cole, all you have to do is go into custom practice. I'd pick the Orioles, but let me actually pick the Yankees first, so I have them already preset. But whichever team you're facing, whoever the pitcher is, you go ahead and face them. So I pick the Orioles. We're going to be playing in Yankee Stadium, so we might as well go ahead and practice at Yankee Stadium. And then we're going to enter practice mode, and boom, we're facing Gerrit Cole. If you're facing Josh Hader, it's the same thing. All you have to do is face the Milwaukee Brewers, and when you enter practice mode, you just press the options menu and you go ahead and change the pitcher from whoever is starting to Josh Hader. I'll show you guys how to do everything here, but there's also something very important that you want to do when you're playing this, and that's 1, 2, 3 hitters. All right, let's say you grounded out your first 3 at-bats. Then what would occur is it would restart back to Jose Iglesias. So whenever you get the final out, instead of allowing it to restart, you're going to go to options every single time, and you're going to put whoever was next. For example, our 4th hitter is Aaron Judge. Instead of me going ahead and restarting after 3 outs with Jose Iglesias, I'm going to go ahead and put Aaron Judge in the box, and then boom, I'm hitting with Aaron Judge, and it's as if I'm playing the Showdown. And you're going to do this every single time. Once you get comfortable and you feel like you're reading Gerrit Cole pretty well on all-star difficulty, because match the difficulty that you're facing the final boss in. After you become comfortable, then you can go ahead and face the final boss. Now, once again, the diving plays and everything that they do, that's out of your control, so don't even stress it too much. But you'll feel so comfortable that you can take pitches, and this is also great practice in terms of placing PCI and everything. But just to show you all that you can go to the bullpen straight off of this, look, I can get to Aroldis Chapman. So if you're facing the Milwaukee Brewers, you can 100% get yourself to Josh Hader. Now, another thing is here that's important is these roster changes, if you don't want them saved, which you most likely won't want them saved, all you have to do is close app after you hop back into Diamond Dynasty and beat the game. Or in general, unless you save the rosters manually, they're not going to save, so you have nothing to worry about. So once again, right after you beat custom practice, or not beat custom practice, but after you feel comfortable, you've been scoring up pitches and you've been scoring runs at an effective pace, you go back to Diamond Dynasty and say to yourself, all right, I feel good, I feel comfortable, now I can go ahead, hop into the Showdown and just beat them, get your 20 affinity points, and then do the same thing, and you might be comfortable enough to actually go ahead and face the boss straight off the bat because you've been reading him so well, or you did it at such an effective pace. But you do have to remember and keep in mind that if your skill level is not there yet, all it takes is practice. So keep on practicing until it's there, and once it's there, then you won't have anything to worry about. Right now, I think I like my team in general, as in all the players that I currently have. I don't think that we're going to go ahead and grind out any team affinity in specific to try to finish, but I do want to be able to have each and every single team up to 70 points and every single team's team affinity card. So that's going to be a goal in mind after I finish doing the recordings for the day, which is the No Money Spent series, ranked season series. If you haven't checked that out, click on the channel and click on playlist. The No Money Spent Battle Royale series is going to be starting up soon. And then last but not least, I got to start preparing myself as well for pack squads. So we have a lot of things to do. There are going to be more guides, and I will show you guys runs where I go ahead and beat it. But that's going to be in the future once they start releasing more cards, so you guys can see different methods if different methods present themselves. If you did end up enjoying today's content, make sure you guys hit that like button, red subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias at Bhlademyst. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. Interact with me on the community tab by clicking on channel and community, and also turn on that notification bell. I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay away from your elders, and if you feel sick, go see a doctor. Peace out.